In the red dust village of Akanmu, where the Irako trees whispered ancient secrets, lived Bamadiel, a blacksmith known for his temper as much as his skill. His wife, Morinkeji, was heavy with child, her belly round like the moon before harvest. That evening, an argument broke out under the fading orange sky. "You have turned my house into a place of complaints," Bamadiel shouted, his voice sharp like iron striking iron. Morinkeji wept softly. "My husband, it is the child pressing me." "Pregnancy is not a curse," she pleaded. But anger had already swallowed Bamadiel whole, and the village knight watched silently as his rage grew beyond reason. Blinded by fury, Bamadiel dragged Morinkeji toward his old car parked beside the mud house. "If you want to cry, cry here," he barked. Despite her swollen feet and trembling hands, he pushed her inside and slammed the door shut. The echo of the lock snapping into place pierced the night. "Bamadiel! My husband! Open the door!" Morinkeji screamed, pounding weakly against the glass. But he turned away, his heart hardened like unquenched steel, and walked into the darkness without looking back. Inside the car, the air grew thick and suffocating. Morinkeji clutched her belly, whispering prayers to Olodumare and the spirits of her ancestors. "Do not let my child die in my womb," she sobbed, her tears streaking down the dusty windows. The moon rose high, bathing the village in pale silver. From afar, the elders said later, they heard a strange humming sound, like a woman singing with unseen voices answering her from the forest. Suddenly, a spark leapt from the old car's faulty wiring. Smoke curled upward like a black snake. Within moments, flames erupted, licking the sides of the vehicle. Villagers woke to the smell of burning rubber and shouted in alarm. "Fire! Fire!" Voices rang through Akanmu as people ran toward the glow. The car was burning fiercely, yet something impossible was happening inside. As the fire roared, Morinkeji closed her eyes and felt a strange coolness wrap around her. The flames danced wildly outside, but none touched her skin. It was as though invisible hands shielded her and her unborn child. Witnesses later swore they saw a white mist inside the burning car, forming the shape of a woman with long hair, an ancestral mother standing guard. The villagers broke the car door with stones and iron rods. When they pulled Morinkeji out, alive and unburnt, a gasp swept through the crowd. "This is not ordinary," an elder whispered, trembling. Morinkeji collapsed to the ground, still breathing, still holding her belly. The fire died suddenly, as if satisfied. The village stood in silence, knowing they had witnessed a power older than words. By morning, the news reached Bamadiel wherever he had gone to cool his anger. A young boy ran to him, panting. "Your wife, the car burned, but she lives." Bamadiel dropped to his knees. His chest tightened, and his anger dissolved into terror. "What have I done?" he whispered, his hands shaking like leaves in harmattan wind. Bamadiel rushed back to Akanmu, his feet blistered, his heart pounding. When he saw the burnt shell of his car and Morinkeji lying weak but alive, shame crashed over him like a storm. He knelt before her. "Forgive me, my wife. My madness almost killed you and our child," he cried, tears soaking the earth. Morinkeji did not speak immediately. Her eyes carried pain deeper than bruises. The women of the village gathered around her, whispering prayers and stroking her hair. Finally, she said softly, "It was not you who saved me. It was the ancestors you forgot when anger ruled your heart." The council of elders summoned Bamadiel beneath the oldest baobab tree. Their voices were calm but heavy. "A man who dishonors life invites curses into his lineage," the chief said. Bamadiel bowed low. "Teach me how to make peace with the spirits and with my wife," he begged. A cleansing ritual was performed at the river before sunrise. Bamadiel washed himself while chanting words of repentance. White chalk marked his arms, symbolizing rebirth. The priestess warned him, "Anger is fire. Control it, or it will burn everything you love." Morinkeji was taken to a herbalist who rubbed sacred oils on her belly. She dreamed of an old woman smiling and placing a calabash of light in her womb. When she awoke, her strength slowly returned, and the baby kicked gently, alive and well. Months passed, and Bamadiel changed. He fetched water, cooked meals, and spoke softly. The village watched closely, unsure if his transformation was real. Every night, he prayed beside his wife, promising never to let anger guide his hands again. Elders began to say the child would be special. Any child saved by fire carries destiny, they murmured. Morinkeji felt peace settle in her heart, though the memory of that night never fully faded. Thunder rolled as Morinkeji went into labor. The rain fell hard, washing the earth clean. Her screams mixed with prayers and ancient songs. At dawn, a baby boy was born, crying loudly, strong and untouched by misfortune. The elders named the child Ayodele, joy has come home. They said the name would remind the family of sorrow turned into blessing. Bamadiel held his son and wept openly, unashamed. Before the whole village, Bamadiel confessed his sin. Let my story warn every man who raises anger above love, he declared. The people nodded, some with tears, some with understanding. Peace returned to their household. Laughter replaced shouting, and songs replaced insults. The car wreck was left untouched, a reminder of madness conquered. Morinkeji's eyes slowly regained their light. Years later, elders told children the story of the woman saved by fire. The ancestors protect the innocent, they taught, but punishment waits for the cruel. Bamadiel never forgot, and neither did the village. In old age, Bamadiel would sit under the irako tree and say, anger nearly destroyed my destiny. Love rebuilt it. And so, Akanmu remembered forever, a man may regret his actions, but wisdom is born only when regret becomes change.